Good evening. It's Tuesday, June 9, 2020 here in Cebu City. I'm Cherry Ann Lim, and here's all you need to know in Newsbits tonight. A male COVID-19 patient died after he jumped from the third floor of the Vicente Sotto Memorial Medical Center this morning. It was reportedly the patient's second attempt to commit suicide. Here's Chari Coronel for the details.
A 48-year-old male coronavirus disease patient died on the spot after he jumped off from the third floor of Vicente Soto Memorial Medical Center in Cebu City past 8 this morning. The victim was identified as Kim Falco Tilo Villostubo, a resident of Barangay Labangon in Cebu City. Villostubo had been isolated at the VSMMC after testing positive for COVID-19. According to Police Major Elisandro Quijano of Abiliana Police Station, the hospital security guard named Manuel Osorno saw the patient broke the glass window of his room. Quijano says Osorno immediately went to the third floor to stop the victim, but it was too late. Vicente Soto utility worker Brian Garcia says it was the second time the victim attempted to jump from the room. The police advised the security personnel of the hospital to conduct roving from time to time so the incident will not happen again. Meanwhile, the chief administrator of VSMMC, Paul Gino Lopez, clarified that the hospital did not prevent the responding police from entering the premises contrary to earlier reports. The dead body of the victim will be cremated as soon as possible. Individuals who feel that they are suicidal may call Hopeline Cebu at 0939-936-5433 or 0939-937-5433. Trained personnel will listen and provide advice to people who are thinking of taking their lives. Chari Coronel, Newsbits Tonight.
The Vicente Sotto Memorial Medical Center has contradicted the claims made by Sambagdos Barangay Captain Ryan Aznar that its medical staff living in the barangay contributed to the increase in COVID-19 infections in the area. Here's Kenneth Torres for the details.
The Vicente Soto Memorial Medical Center says the rise of coronavirus infections in Barangay Sambagdos in Cebu City should not be blamed solely on their medical staff living in the area. This after Sambagdos Barangay Captain Ryan Aznar expressed his concern over the presence of VSMMC frontliners in the village, which now has around 70 COVID-19 cases. Some VSMMC frontliners are reportedly renting rooms in Barangay Sambagdos. According to Aznar, they traced around 20 VSMMC frontliners who tested positive for the virus. He added that there were residents who went to VSMMC outpatient department for consultation or had given birth at the hospital and tested positive for COVID-19. VSMMC Medical Chief Dr. Gerardo Aquino says it would be unfair to blame the transmission solely on VSMMC. Aquino clarified that their obstetricians require COVID tests on pregnant women who go to VSMMC to deliver their babies shortly after they are admitted. He also said that the VSMMC personnel who directly involved in caring for COVID-19 patients have been housed in a dorm and only return to their homes every 2 weeks. Cebu City Administrator Floro Casa says Mayor Edgardo Labella has agreed to set up a dorm for VSMMC frontliners as requested by the barangay captain. Meanwhile, the hospital has implemented a no watcher and visitors policy starting today. VSMMC says it is part of their infection prevention control measures. However, this does not apply to watchers of pediatrics patients who are required for patient care, signing off documents, education and instruction, and counseling and renal patients for a maximum of 4 hours. Kenneth Torres, Newsbits Tonight.
The coronavirus disease cases in Cebu continue to rise as the cities of Cebu, Mandaue, Talisay, and other areas in the province report additional infections today. Here's Chari Coronel for the details.
Cases of coronavirus disease in Cebu City rose to 2,988 after the city logged 106 new infections today. 13 of the new cases came from Barangay Kinasangan, Barangays Apas, Basak San Nicolas, Luz, Calamba, Kamputhaw, Budlaan, Capital Site, Cogon Pardo, Dulo Fatima, Ermita, Inayawan, Labangon, Lahug, Lorega San Miguel, Mambaling, Pahina Central, Pardo, Pasil, Punta Princesa, Quiyot, Cogon Ramos, Tipadilla, Talamban, Tinago, Tijero, Tisa, Suba, Sawang Calero, Sambag 1 and 2 also logged additional COVID-19 cases. The City Health Department also reported one additional mortality in Barangay Kasambagan today, which brings the total count of deaths in the city to 33. But the good news is, the city also recorded 83 recoveries today, which came from Barangays Ermita, Bakayan, Pasil, Suba, Mambaling, San Nicolas Proper, Sawang Calero, and Punta Princesa. The city now has 1,710 recoveries. Meanwhile, Mandaue City logged one new case of COVID-19 today, raising the total count of cases in the city to 321. The new patient is a 25-year-old female resident of Sitio Lapiahan in Barangay Labugun. The city also recorded one recovery today, bringing the total count of recoveries to 41. In Cebu Province, 16 additional cases were logged today, bringing the total count of COVID-19 cases in the province to 306. Of the 16, 4 came from Talisay City. Chari Coronel, Newsbits Tonight.
After installing bike lanes, the Mandaue City government has imposed rules and guidelines to be followed by cyclists to ensure road safety. Apprehensions were also made today as some vehicles were found illegally parked on the bike lanes. Here's Kenneth Torres for the details.
Now that bike lanes are established in Mandaue City, the city government has imposed guidelines and rules to ensure safety on roads. City Administrator Attorney Jamal Kalipayan says all cyclists must use helmets. Cyclists should also use reflectors on the front and rear parts of each pedal. There should also be a permanent and regular seat attached and must avoid overloading. Cyclists must obey all traffic rules, including yielding to pedestrians. Cyclists must avoid exhibition and must keep at least one hand on the handlebars at all times. Cyclists should always stick to one lane, should not maneuver between vehicles, and must never counterflow the traffic. Kalipayan also noted that cyclists must be familiar with hand signals. The Traffic Enforcement Agency of Mandaue will give cyclists 1 week to familiarize and comply with the rules. Meanwhile, the city also apprehended 2 violators for illegally parking on the bike lanes during an inspection conducted along A. Del Rosario Street in Barangay Mantuyong. Kenneth Torres, Newsbits Tonight.
Pag-asa Mactan says the rainy season may start in the 3rd week of June. The State Weather Bureau is also monitoring a low-pressure area located near Giwan in eastern Samar that may develop into a tropical depression. Here's Chari Coronel for the details.
Metro Cebu has experienced light to moderate rainfall this morning, but Pag-asa Mactan says rainy season has yet to start. The State Weather Bureau says onset of rainy season is expected to start next week as the southwesterly wind flow starts to prevail. Pag-asa is now monitoring a low-pressure area spotted 350 kilometers east-southeast of Giwan, Samar, or 350 kilometers east of Surigao City, Surigao del Norte. The weather disturbance may develop into a tropical depression in the next 48 hours and will be named Botchoy. With this, Metro Cebu may experience scattered rains and thunderstorms with occasional heavy rains tomorrow and on Thursday. The Weather Bureau says for the whole month of June, the country may have 1 or 2 tropical cyclones. Chari Coronel, Newsbits Tonight.
To get the latest, visit www.sunstar.com.ph. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on our social media accounts on Twitter and Facebook. I'm Sherry Ann Lim. Good evening.